Hi, Mark here from AmericanAeration.com, and in this video I want to go over the simple steps that you can do to repair or rebuild a rocking piston compressor. These compressors are typically used in many pond aeration systems these days, and this rebuild is actually one of two maintenance points that you'll want to conduct, usually after a couple years of service, and it replaces the seals and gaskets on and around the piston chamber. So basically you have 2 points of maintenance. You have the air filter cartridge like this one, which is usually housed in some kind of a canister like that, and this should be checked every couple months probably, at least to start with. Most of our customers probably can get out about a year before they have to replace this, but really it should be checked routinely to make sure that it's staying clean and replaced when necessary. This is a Casco Tech Air 1/4 horsepower rocking piston compressor, and it has one piston in it. And with this system, we normally can go out a couple years before we have to do any kind of a replacement on the seals and gaskets. But like all manufacturers, Casco has a rebuild kit available for all of their compressors. And we'll go over some of the components in that rebuild kit and then show you how to basically upgrade or update this pump so that you can maintain good air output out of it. Normally after a couple years of operation, you will begin to see a drop in the bubbling of the air out of the diffuser in the pond. And when you see this start to drop off, or in particular if you have a multi-diffuser aerator and one of the diffusers stops but the other ones are running fine, pump sounds fine, that's an early indication that you're losing compression in the pump, and it's probably time to get a rebuild kit in hand. Ideally, before things get a little worse, you would turn the pump off, get the rebuild done, and be back up to speed, and then you can go another couple years before you have to do it again. But it's just a good way to maintain good output. It is considered standard maintenance on these types of pumps, and so good thing to cover today. So we'll get into this and go step by step and let you know how to do it, in at least as far as with the Tech Air pumps. Most rocking piston pumps should be pretty similar to this one. Might be a few little nuances to how you change out the parts, but it should be pretty close. So we hope this video helps. Okay, so here we are. We've got a 1/4 horsepower Tech Air rocking piston compressor from Casco, and what we're going to do is basically rebuild this pump by replacing a few simple things, a couple gaskets and seals and some flapper valves, and easy peasy stuff really. I've removed some of the components already just to speed this whole demonstration up. The best advice I can give you starting out is when you pull the pump out, before you remove any of the components, take a photograph with your cell phone so that you can reconfigure these attachments and this plate just the way it came from the factory. Now typically on the import side you're going to have an air filter intake here, and then on the exit side you're going to have a relief valve, a pressure relief valve on the back side, and then a connection on the front that goes to the air line and runs to the diffuser in the pond. It's all very straightforward, but you just so that you're confident that you can get everything back together again, take a photograph at this point in time, and then you'll know how all those attachments go together. The first thing we're going to do is remove the 4 bolts that connect the head plate or head cover here. And as I say, I've removed some of them already just to speed up time on this video. When you first try to loosen these, expect them to be a bit hard to loosen, because they're going to be on there, I think it's recommended at about 50 pounds per inch of torque. So they're going to be on there pretty tight, and you'll want to make sure they're on there pretty tight when you reattach this plate. As we take this off, you're going to see underneath the valve plate, and on here there is a gasket right on top, which would be one of those we'll replace. And I'm just going to pull this off for now, and then underneath there'll be another oval gasket that you'll replace. And to get to this one, you'll probably want a knife or some tweezers or something with a fine tip on it so you can pry that out of there. The other two parts of this plate that you'll want to concern yourself with is these flapper valves. And I'm going to go ahead and loosen this one up. You'll find these valves in the kit, and this is the part that you'll replace. This is a very flexible, soft flapper valve. And on the top side it will have a plate cover, and you want to keep those because those aren't in the kit, just the valves are. And we'll go ahead and tighten that down and make sure everything's lined up good. And then the thing that I want you to pay attention to on this top cover, it's very important, is that the plate itself towards the end curves upward so that the flapper valve can come up. You want to make sure this is configured right. It's got to bend upward away from the plate, and then it's attached properly. The bottom, no big deal. It's just a base plate back here towards the end of the flapper, but and of course that goes in very straightforward. But once you get those set, I usually just set them to the side, and then we get into the piston cup. And I want to have access to the fan so I can move the piston around a little bit. It helps, I think it makes it easier to get to everything and to get everything situated right. So we'll remove the fan cover and we'll pull the cup off, and a new cup comes in every rebuild kit, so you've got that to work with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to replace this gasket, the piston cup gasket down at the bottom there, and we'll go ahead and remove these. And these could be on there pretty tight too. In fact, when you attach this and you put these screws in, it's recommended to use a little bit of Loctite, which Casco includes in their kit, to make sure that these screws are in there good and solid. And pressure on these, I believe, is around 35 pounds per inch, properly applied. But you'll see that this is the replacement gasket in the kit. And to get this back on and situated, the instructions with Casco discuss basically manually pushing this into the cylinder. And that proved to be somewhat challenging to do with a very fresh gasket, which are not very pliable. So what I suggest you try first is just reattach this assembly. There's a lot of ways to do this, but for whatever reason, I just found it somewhat challenging in following the Casco instructions initially to get this thing seated back into the cup in the cylinder. And so we tried some different routes and different techniques, and this one seems to be the easiest, and I hope it is for you too. Anyway, we will turn the fan blade to lift this piston up, and I'm going to slide the ring from the side over it, and then position it like that. And what I want to make sure of is that this cup is down all the way seated onto the metal base below it. And I'll just go ahead and turn the fan a little bit and watch how this goes. And all I'm looking for is making sure that I can see the rubber gasket as I look around the perimeter. I don't want to see any gaps around there. And this one looks fine. It's moving fine. There's no pinching and nothing that looks out of place, so we're good there. So now we can start kind of reassembling the things once we have that in place and we know we've got these locked down. We'll go ahead and put the valve plate back on, make sure that that's good, make sure that this gasket is seated. And we can go ahead and put the head screws back in. And again, these should be tightened, I think, to 50 inch-pounds. And then on the plate itself, where we put the Loctite, would be 35 inch-pounds, according to the Casco information. So as you put this all back together, again, refer to the photographs so that you can attach everything the way it came from the factory. And then we will basically do a short test run, you know, plug it in before you hook it up to anything, plug it in and run it for a little bit, listen to it, make sure that it sounds normal. In other words, just like you had before, just like, you know, when it came from the factory and you ran it for the first time. Just pay attention to that and listen for anything that sounds odd or out of place, and if it sounds good and looks good, you should be good for another couple years. And all of these rocking piston pumps have proven, at least by my experience, to be extremely durable. If you keep the air filter in good shape, and just talking about basic maintenance, if you keep this air filter cartridge clean, change it out when you need to, every 6 months to once a year seems to be the norm for most people, but you want to keep an eye on this little component. So that's your number one point of maintenance, and then these rebuilds are the second step. A couple years out, if you start to see compression loss, some people also just replace them on a set time frame, somewhere 2 to 3 years out, just to keep ahead of it, and that's certainly doable too. But hopefully this video shows you that it's a relatively straightforward and easy repair, and it's a great way to keep these pumps running for years and years in great shape. So at any rate, if you have any questions about pond aeration or anything to do with your pond, be sure to get in touch with us at AmericanAeration.com. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Bye.